Yeah,
opinion.
is
This
there
is
a,
not an
so
opinion.
I have a question for you. Is this a meta-analysis or isn't it?
Yes.
It is. Can you show me where it's a meta-analysis?
Oh, I can't even scroll on this. But what do you mean? It depends. What do you mean by meta-analysis? Do you mean that it's looking at the analyses of a lot of
No,
other
no,
studies? Like,
no,
what do
no,
you
no, no, no. Listen, inside of sociology, there's a huge problem with replication of studies. Okay, it's called the replication crisis. It
Yes,
affects.
I've heard of
Hang
it.
on, it affects all forms of science, but sociology is particularly infected by it. So one of the ways that they're able to kind of push back a little bit against the fact that almost 50% of all sociological studies can't be replicated, which means that they probably have terrible results, is by having what's called a meta analysis done, which is where they take all of the studies inside of that field and then they're analyzed by a whole bunch of scientists in order to
That
figure
is
out
literally
what's
what
good or
this
not.
is. That is
Well,
what
then
this is.
show
That's
me
how it
where
got
it
published.
says that it's a meta analysis.
The fact that it's peer reviewed and it has
Peer
all
review
of
doesn't
these,
mean anything.
but when it's looking at all of, so they're looking at the field and all the social research we have on secularism versus
Yeah, that's not
atheism.
a meta
Here, all of the,
analysis.
and all
That
of
doesn't mean
this
it's a meta
is also
analysis.
okay. Well, if even if it's not a meta-analysis, can you please tell me how this is wrong? All of this that it used, which all of this comes from other reputable, respectable, real sources, and it's
Because
giving you stats
because
about the murder
I
rate.
just tried to explain it to you. I'll explain it to you
You're
again.
refuting this paper. You're refuting the paper based on what?
I'm not
I want to know.
well,
Are
first
you
of all,
refuting this
well,
paper
first before
based on what?
I'm trying to explain it to you. If you are able to concede this point, which you can look it up right now and I'll give you the time to look it up, that sociology has a huge problem with replication of results, which it does, has a massive problem with it. Then, kind of the offset to that is what's called a meta analysis. Okay, that way we know that the data that we're looking at is okay enough for us to at least examine so that we can understand that we're not coming to false views based on the fact that these people
Okay.
are just credentialized. So, is this a meta analysis or isn't it?
Okay. Okay. If it's not a meta analysis, then are you saying, because this is the thing, there are some stats that are very easy. So, sociology, I get what you're saying, but where you're wrong is that certain things in sociology are harder to get. It's harder to get that information than others. The murder rate is not a difficult one to get.
It could be
Subjective
depending on
well
the
being,
criteria
subjective
of what they
happiness.
consider murder to be. That's why it's important that we know the methodology.
And look it up and refute it then.
Well, how can
If
I?
you're just gonna
It's
be the
your
same,
burden. It's your
then
burden, not mine. So tell me how they
okay,
what are the
let's do
metrics they
it then.
use for murder?
Let's look at the reference and then let's look at that paper because this is just referencing a bunch of studies. So let's do it then. Let's go for it. If you want to do this, let's do this. All right,
Guys,
let's see.
real quick. I kind of skimmed through this as we were going through it. It seems that on certain points it supports secularism, and other points it supports religion. Like for
I thought it
example,
was an opinion persuasive piece. I guess not then.
Well, I
so
thought it was
for
a study in a meta-analysis 5 minutes
so
ago.
for example,
So
I'm
you
just
said I'm going with what you said.
What the fuck?
Okay, let's
so
see it. Let's see.
How
real
insane
quick.
is this chick? I can't even believe this.
All right,
Okay, let's see.
wait, real quick. So for some things, like for example, murder rate seems to point that hey, secularism works better. But for other things, like for example, happiness, it seems to say hey, religion works better. I guess
Yeah,
what
I
most people
agree.
have.
But he's saying that the murder rates could be wrong. So he wants to go through. Let's find the study they cited and let's go
Well,
through
I
it and
mean,
see
if
how
this
they're
is your
defining murder
yeah,
and
if
all
this
that.
is your evidence, yeah, we have to first define murder, then
Sure,
we have to look at the metrics for how they're kind of assigning that. And so usually you find
we're
that in
just
a
trying to
controlled
see where
study under methodology.
you.
Okay,
I
All
did
right,
also,
see.
so let's see.
by the way, guys, 10-minute
Jensen
warning before we move on to
2006.
the
So
next
this
topic.
so actually this is in a lot of studies. So there's unless these are all from the same, which I don't think there's not. Yeah, no, they're all different years. So there's actually one, two, three, four studies that we can go through, and I have time. Let's go through all four. If you're saying these are all just wrong and this is just an incorrect thing, then let's see Jensen 2006. Let's go down and let's copy and paste it and let's go through it. Let's go through all of them. Why not?
Let's just do one or two.
Okay. So does this still share the screen if I open in another tab, the study?
Most likely, but I'll tell you
Okay.
once you do.
So here we go. Religious cosmologies and homicide rates among nations. How do I copy this? Okay, I'm just gonna search it. Jensen 2006. paper called again? Homicide. Great Nation. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so yeah, it's not shared, so you have to share the other screen.
Okay.
I'll just remove this one.
Just wanna...
It'll be easier for you to share the other one.
All right, let me make sure we can open it.
So you're not, so Jasmine, I just want to make sure that I get this clarified. You're not actually familiar with any of the studies that are inside of this paper, nor are you actually familiar with the paper, but you did bring it to debate over. Is that correct?
I am familiar with the paper. That's why I knew when it comes with happiness, I did read the entire paper. Now, I didn't go through and check every source because when I'm looking at a peer-reviewed paper that's been published and it's giving me
let's find out if you're telling the
truth.
truth. Let's find out if you're telling the truth. Close your eyes and put your hands up like this. Close your eyes, put your hands up like this. We'll determine if you're telling the truth. I'm
not doing that.
No? Can you can't, I don't believe that if you closed your eyes, put your hands up, you could even tell me what one of the sources is. I don't even believe it. I don't think you've read any of these sources, and yet you still brought it to a debate.
There is one of the ones I was going to look at was the one that starts with, let me see it.
You don't know. You don't know any of them. You don't know any of the sources. You don't know anything. Why did you bring this to a debate? You haven't even read it.
As a researcher, because I don't remember the name.
You haven't even read it.
Of every single stat that I have, then none of it's valid. SureCat, this is the one I'm talking about. SureCat is, and there was a bunch of it: 2003, 2006, 2008, 2009.
Yeah, now that you're reading it verbatim.
I remembered it. I said it starts with an S. I didn't remember the term SureCat because I didn't prepare for this for 2,000 hours, but I did read it. I remember being like, okay, SureCat seems like he's done, or the one that starts with S seems like he's done a lot.
So you haven't read these primary. Jasmine.
Just because you don't memorize all of the names.
You didn't even understand the context of the paper.
That the paper is not legitimate.
You didn't even understand the context of the paper.
This is as valid of a source
as
you can get.
Keep screeching.
It's other mouth. Yeah. Okay, you talk louder. Yeah, we can do this all day.
All you're doing is reading.
50-something-year-old man. It doesn't look as stupid for me to come play this shit online.
You have not. I mean, you're a prostitute. What do you mean? You can't make any bad claims about what I do online?
You're sitting here, of all the things that you could
You would hump your sister for money. Like, what are you talking about? How could you possibly make any claims against me?
You're sitting here, and you're sitting here, of all the things you could be doing, of all the people you could be doing, you're sitting here having a debate.
You requested the debate. I didn't reach out for a debate with you. I didn't reach out for a debate with you.
To be fair, I was actually the one that suggested this debate.
So then on top of that, again, you're diverting. Again, all you're doing here, again and again and again, same thing over and over. You haven't read any of the sources. You're not familiar with the paper. You couldn't tell me the methodologies. You can't tell me anything.
Read all these? I can
no,
tell you right now, I didn't.
You didn't read any of it.
I read the
You're wasting
paper.
everybody's time.
I knew that, and I know when
all you're doing is wasting our time.
Academic paper. All of the citations are here. I remembered that this guy, SureCat, even though I didn't remember it was actually SureCat.
Screech louder. Keep screeching.
Has a. What do you mean?
All you're doing is reading.
You did not prove your point in the slide.
You brought evidence.
Every single one
you
of
brought
these
evidence. You brought evidence to a debate you hadn't even read.
I bet those glasses make you see better.